Hello, this is me, DeafeningOctopus, and welcome to a one-off video where we are going to be doing a quiz. And by we, I mean me and Thrasher, who is also in the call.
Hello.
Yep. And we're going to be doing a quiz about our own respective sports. So, as you already know, I'm a massive fan of Formula 1 and just motorsports in general. But in this video, we'll be focusing on Formula 1. And Thrasher is a big fan of
The NHL.
the NHL. What does
National
that stand
Hockey
for?
League.
National Hockey League. Yeah, I knew it was something to do with ice hockey. But yes, so basically how this is going to work is we're going to ask each other 10 questions about our own respective sport, and they're going to be completely, really meanly impossible questions. So it's going to be really funny. And then we're going to ask each other 5 questions about the other person's sport to see if they can, to see how well they know their own sport. And we only had 15 minutes to actually find the questions for each of these, so it'll be interesting to see what we've come up with. Anyway, do you want to start with the first question about the NHL?
All right. I'm gonna start off a little bit easy, so I'll give you this one. Well-known hockey player.
I'd say Dave Williams. Is that true? No.
Wayne Gretzky.
Wayne Gretzky. I've heard of him. You know, he's the only one I've heard of. It's just that I found that Dave Williams had was also quite like he seemed to pop up on every site.
Because like whenever you think of the NHL, a lot of people think of Wayne Gretzky or good players. They think of Wayne Gretzky. So yeah.
Yeah.
Wait.
Gretzky's probably the only player I've actually heard of, apart from the ones I just researched right now. Right.
Okay, so then...
Yeah, so that's no points to anyone so far. Question 1 on Formula 1. What did Lewis Hamilton publish this year?
Publish? So like a book?
Is that your answer?
Or...
I suppose you could be quite vague about it, or you could be very specific if you found the answer, which I take it
Do you have
haven't.
like a specific answer that you're looking for?
Or
is it more of a vague?
I'm gonna see what you answer and then decide whether to give you the point or not.
Alright, so I guess I'm gonna say kind of like a book on his career in F1.
Like a biography, an autobiography.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It was actually a poem. I believe that it was in memory of Princess Diana. So, yeah, that's that.
Alright,
Lewis Hamilton is also a poet.
0-0 then. Okay, next question for the NHL. When did the NHL start or was founded?
The NHL was founded in 1917. November 1917.
November, alright.
The 26th.
The 26th, yep. You got that one right. Ding, ding, ding.
Very rapidly changes one of the questions that I'd found. Oh, dear. Anyway, so that's 1 point to me. Right. Yeah. Question 2 on Formula 1. Who won the 1959 Dutch Grand Prix? This is very specific.
Oh, no.
But it has to be.
Oh, no.
Think of drivers from that era if you found any. I mean, if you found any. And it still won't be right.
I don't even know any, like... Oh, no. No.
You can let 1 point go, or another point go. Let's face it, we're not going to score many points today, are we?
Wait. I think I remember...
You remember a driver from the 50s, do you?
No, like, one person.
One person, okay. You have about a 1 in 900 chance of being correct.
Yeah. Mario Andretti? Is that it?
His debut was actually about 9 years later, but yeah. It was actually Joachim Bonnier, so... His only Grand Prix win, which is why I went for that one, because you would never have guessed it.
I would never have guessed, yeah.
Right, 1-0
okay.
to me.
Wait, let me see. Who won the Stanley Cup in 2002?
Oh gosh, was it... I'm going to say this because they seem to have won it quite a lot. Toronto.
Nope. And it's the Detroit Red Wings.
Detroit. That was going to be my second choice, Detroit. I didn't know about the Red Wings name, but Detroit, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Why was the 2005 USA Grand Prix unusual? I'm quite worried about this one, actually, or I was beforehand, because this is quite... This comes up on pretty much all did you know sites.
Wait, was that the year that one driver crashed?
There have been quite a few crashes in the history of Formula 1.
Um, was there like not as many races as there was supposed to be?
Well, there's only one race per Grand Prix. I mean,
Or one like they were supposed to race on like more tracks, but they didn't.
this is the 2005 USA Grand Prix in particular. So
So
the
it was
round,
on like a race.
yeah, the
Okay,
round
okay.
in America.
Oh, all right. I thought you meant like just in general. Oh, okay. Oh goodness. Um, there was a fan who went onto the track.
A good guess actually, because that has happened a couple of times, just not at that Grand Prix. It was actually because only 6 cars started the race. Basically, there was a lot of worries about whether the Bridgestone tyres would cope with the trickier corners on the track. For example, the final corner is actually one of the corners they use for the Indianapolis 500, so it's banked. And there were concerns over whether the Bridgestone tyres could actually finish the race. So only the drivers on Michelin tyres started, of which there were 6.
All right, that one was pretty hard.
Yes.
Let's go with your next question. How many concussions has Sidney Crosby had?
Concussions. Oh dear.
Yep.
He must be a clumsy guy. I'm gonna say 4.
Yes, you're
Oh my
right.
goodness, what a guess. I was just kind of thinking of how many injuries people tend to get in a lifetime. There we go, 2-0.
I was gonna say what years, but I won't be that mean.
No. If I'm on a roll like this, I'm going to guess anyway. This is for no extra points. Maybe his career was 2006 to 10 or something like that, or 3 to 10. If this is actually right, it won't be. But if this is actually right, then that would be really funny.
Well.
Well.
I'm trying to...
Okay, never mind that. That doesn't matter.
No, wait. Okay, no. What years were his concussions?
Okay, well that's this is for no extra points, but
Exactly. Just...
I'm gonna guess 2003, 5, 8, and 9.
Nope, 2010 and 2011 that season,
Ah.
2011, 2012, and he got 2 in those seasons, and 2016, 2017 he got 1 as well.
Okay, yeah.
But because that was for no extra points, and it was like really hard. So
Well,
yeah,
his head must be hating him by now.
yeah.
Right. How many times has the entire front row of the grid, so the people who qualified first and second, been taken out on the first lap of a Grand Prix?
In like the history of F1,
Yep, in the history of F1.
13.
Actually, only 4 times. We have much cleaner
What?
starts. We have much cleaner starts here in F1 than your NASCAR drivers. I'll tell you that.
Wow.
The
Over
first-
like
Yeah, the first time was the 1977 Belgian Grand Prix, John Watson and Mario Andretti. The second time was actually a very famous time. It was a championship deciding race between Ayrton Senna and Alain Prost. And then the third and fourth times were actually last year and this year. We had one at the Spanish Grand Prix last year with Hamilton and Rosberg, and one actually at the last Grand Prix, the Singapore Grand Prix, where Verstappen and Vettel got taken out on the first lap in a 4-car incident.
Okay. It's funny how both of the answers for our questions were 4.
Or 4, yes. Right.
All right. How many? Or sorry. What was the fastest slap shot ever done?
Slap
And who
shot.
is it by?
Well, I can imagine that's probably something to do with an actual type of shot. Now, you've shown me some kind of footage of some kind of shot in the past. I can't remember what you called
A
it or
slap
who did
shot
it.
is basically like you shoot, like you get the stick and you go high above your head and just shoot it as hard as you can.
Oh, that one.
So how many miles per hour is the fastest one?
Ooh, the fastest one. So is it who did it, or how many miles per hour was it?
Both. Both.
Oh dear, I'll get half a point for each.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right. I'm going to say Wayne Gretzky because he seems to pop up everywhere. And well, how fast should the puck travel? 100 miles per hour.
Oh, that was close. Okay, so it was by Zdeno Chara, and it went 108.8 miles per hour.
Ooh,
8 miles.
close.
Do you want to guess, just for non-points, what year it was in?
1980.
No, no, 2012.
Oh, okay.
Not that far back.
That seems to be the time where all the records were set, but
Yeah.
Right, what tyre manufacturers, in terms of, how many tyre manufacturers, sorry, provided tyres for the 1982 season?
Okay,
This
so...
is F1, of course, not ice hockey.
Yeah. I'm gonna guess kind of lower. Uh, let's... Hmm. 5.
4.
What? No!
So close.
Come on.
And they were Avon, Bridgestone, Michelin and Pirelli, if I remember right. Right, question 6 on ice hockey.
What was the Winnipeg Jets' previous name before, what was the Winnipeg Jets' previous name?
Ooh, that's... I've heard of the team, haven't heard of what they were previously called.
I think I've told you in the past.
You probably have, yes. It's all some... It's going to be something to do with animals, isn't it? I mean, you've got buffaloes, you've got hornets. I'm going to guess beavers. That seems like a good one.
The Winnipeg Beavers?
Yeah, what's that?
Alright, so their previous name was the Atlanta Thrashers.
The Atlanta Thrashers! Oh,
Yeah.
you had an ice hockey team.
Yeah, I did.
Glorious.
It was pretty
Right.
cool.
Who designed the only ever four-wheel drive F1 car? It was actually racing at Goodwood last weekend or a couple of weekends ago. In the
Who
classic
designed
race.
it? Oh, wow. Oh, I have no idea. Like the person?
Yeah. There was only one designer on that car. Quite a famous designer, but yeah.
Oh no. I'm just gonna say a random name.
Okay, go on then.
Uh Eddie Montana. I have no idea.
Nice. No, it was actually Harry Ferguson. Henry Ferguson, sorry. Right, so yeah, something ending in Ferguson and starting with a H. There you go. Done. Yeah,
All right.
it was the Ferguson Climax P99, and it was disqualified from its one and only race. It was also the last ever F1 car with the engine in the front, but yeah.
Okay. Okay. What's the new 2017 NHL team?
Oh, there's a new one?
They added a
I would
new
never have heard of it. What didn't have a team before? It'll probably be something like... it'll be a small state, won't it? What about Hawaii?
Final answer?
I'm gonna say yeah.
The answer is the Las Vegas Golden Knights.
Las Vegas. So they didn't have a
Las
team.
Vegas. No, they didn't.
Okay.
Well, there's the LA Kings. And
Right.
now there's the Los Angeles or the Las
they've got
Vegas
two.
Golden Knights. Yeah,
A
kind of.
bit like Manchester in this country. Man
Yeah.
City and Man United. But that's in football, the kind we call soccer. Which F1 driver won the Triple Crown? That is, the F1 Monaco Grand Prix, the Le Mans 24 Hour, and the Indianapolis 500.
Michael Schumacher.
Nope. In fact, out of those three, he only won the Monaco Grand Prix. It was actually Graham Hill back in the 1960s and 70s.
All right.
Although Fernando Alonso is giving it a good try these days. I'm sort of wondering whether he's going to do it. I think he could.
Nice. Okay. What are the original NHL teams?
Can I have a clue as to how many there were?
There was 6.
6. Well, Toronto has to be one. So does Detroit.
Yeah. And yeah.
I'm going to say Atlanta Thrashers because that's one of the only teams I've heard of. Let's go with if I end up winning like a sixth of a point or something. So I've got Atlanta, Detroit, and Toronto. What's the place in Canada where you are? Like starts with an O, doesn't it? Ontario. There you go. Ontario. I'll put that in somewhere.
Toronto is in Ontario, so.
Oh, is it? Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ontario is the province. Yeah. Sorry. Right. Ignore that. New York, because that's where its headquarters are, and
wait,
two more.
Two more.
Previous Los Angeles team, and oh dear, you picked a difficult one.
You've gotten a lot of them right.
Have I? I'm going to end up with something like 2/6 of a point. And where else would there be? Texas. I'll guess that.
Texas. There's not even a Texas team.
Not even a Texas team. Well,
oh wait, no.
There's
the Dallas Stars. So
how many sixths of a point did I win?
Okay, so what are the places that you said again? You said.
Oh gosh, I have to remember them all now. I
said Toronto.
Toronto, Atlanta, Detroit.
Okay, so you got Toronto right, you got Detroit right, you got New York right.
New York, yeah.
And the other two were Boston, Chicago, and Montreal. I don't know. Did you say Montreal?
Why didn't I say Montreal? Montreal is like what you think of when you think of ice hockey, isn't it? Oh, God.
Yeah. So you got.
So I got half a point.
Yeah.
So I'm on 2.5, and you're yet to score 1. Here we go. What unique achievement does Hans Heyer hold?
Oh,
I say achievement. It's maybe not actually an achievement, but it's a funny story.
I want to say like the slowest lap time ever, but
I do actually know that record, so I should have put that in, but that's not it. I'll give you 10 seconds. No, I'm joking.
Is there any clues you can give me?
The race officials weren't very happy about it.
Did you like drive backwards?
That would be funny. Is that your final answer?
Wait, I'm trying to think of like what else.
Let's face it, it'll be a miracle if you get it. So
would
you might as well say that.
He did a spin out on purpose at the end of the race.
No, in fact, what happened was that he didn't qualify for the race. So he tried to qualify for the race, but simply wasn't fast enough, as a lot of the cars weren't back in those days. This was 77, I believe. But yet he started the race anyway because a lot of the... I think he might have... I think he was friends with some of the marshals or something, so they deliberately looked away while he made his way to the starting grid. So he started the race, despite the fact he shouldn't have started the race, and then he broke down anyway and got disqualified. So he's the only driver to have, in the same weekend, been not qualified in the first place,
And disqualified.
and then disqualified again.
Oh my.
Let's not face the fact he also... I mean, let's face the fact he also didn't finish the race anyway. So yeah, that's that.
Alright, what is the Chicago Red Hawks captain?
Oh gosh.
Sorry, the Chicago Blackhawks, my bad.
Okay. I'm sure it starts with Michael. I'm sure his name's Michael something. I'm going to say something that sounds hockey-ish. Well, now that I've said that, I'm probably going to offend hockey players. Oh dear. Michael... I'm convinced it's Michael for some reason. Michael Brack? That'll do.
And the answer is Jonathan Taves.
See? Michael.
He's been the captain for a long time. I think like 2000 something, 2011
Okay, yeah.
started, or no, 2009 actually, or that might have been.
For an ice hockey player, I can imagine that is quite long, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
What was Crashgate? I can give you a clue if you like.
Yeah, I'd like that.
2008 Singapore Grand Prix. But what was the Crashgate? Explain.
Yeah.
Tell me. I don't know. Yes, I do.
So when the race started, some of the cars didn't start, and then they went, and there was a huge crash at the very beginning, and yeah.
That's happened a few times. Now, what it actually was that Nelson Piquet Jr. was actually instructed by his team to crash the car on purpose, because that would bring out the safety car, meaning that Fernando Alonso could be put on the ideal pit stop strategy. And Fernando Alonso is Nelson Piquet's teammate, so basically the team told Piquet to crash so that Alonso could win the race, and that is exactly what happened. And yeah, the quite a few of the people involved in that did get banned from Formula 1, of course, because it is a big danger to everyone involved.
Yeah. Alright.
But yeah, that happened.
That's funny. He was actually the captain ever since 2008, 2009, that season, and he is still a captain to this day, so yeah.
Jonathan, was it
Taves.
Taves, yeah.
Yeah. Alright, this one's gonna be a little bit harder because you've been giving me pretty hard ones.
Well, it's the final question, or final question of this round.
During Wayne Gretzky's career, what teams did he play for?
Well, I found an interesting fact that he very nearly played for Winnipeg, but I didn't actually find out who he actually played for. Probably Detroit, because that's who everyone plays for. Seeing as you said teams, I'm going to guess Toronto and Montreal as well. How's that?
Wait, you said 3 or 4?
Yeah, I said...
You said 3 or 4?
I said 3.
You said 3? Okay, there's one more.
Ooh. Okay, so I've already guessed Toronto, Detroit, and... what was the other one I guessed? I'm sure I guessed the third, didn't I? And Toronto, Detroit, and Montreal, that's it. And I'm going to say the fourth was Atlanta.
The answer is the Edmonton Oilers, the Los Angeles Kings, the St. Louis Blues, and the New York Rangers.
I got none of them. 4 tries and none of them were right.
Yeah.
And final F1 question from me to you is, which F1 champion won the fewest Grand Prix in his career?
Oh no.
So not just in his championship winning title year, but in his entire career. Just as a clue, he won 3 Grand Prix.
No. 3?
Yep. He only won 3, and this was a champion.
Is this an old, like, is it older or is it recent? Like, is it like a, what year?
I've given you a clue, so I can give you
What?
another clue if you like. 1961 was his championship winning year. So drivers from that era.
Well, I don't know any.
You've already worked out that it's not Andretti because his debut was in '68. Unless you mean Michael Andretti, whose debut was actually in 1993, so that would be even more wrong.
Wait, wasn't there another Rosberg?
Yep, there was. That was Keke Rosberg, yeah.
Yeah,
Nico's
Keke
dad.
Rosberg, that person.
Are you guessing that?
Yeah.
Nope. In fact, Rosberg was in the 70s and 80s. This was actually Phil Hill, the very first American F1 champion. So, after round 1, or rounds 1 to 10, sort of, if you count the questions as round, I am on 2.5 points, and Thrasher is on 0. Oh, well, you can redeem yourself here, because this is where...
I'll be more familiar, hopefully.
Yeah, so with this, we're only giving each other 5 questions, because we actually couldn't find more questions than that. And it's going to be about each other's chosen sport. So I've tried to find 5 questions to stump Thrasher on about ice hockey. And he has tried to find 3 stumping questions about Formula 1. And we're both going to score pretty much all 5 points, I reckon. Let's see. Right, how many teams currently complete in the NHL?
Oh, no. I know this.
Ooh, do you? I might have actually found one I'm pleased with. You know, I was originally not going to do that. I was originally going to do when was the NHL founded to the month. But you remember at the start how you kind of... how I got that as a question. So I had to get rid of that. But yeah, how many teams currently compete in the NHL?
Okay. I know this. Come on. Think it's give me a second. I know.
Oh, do you know?
Yeah. Okay, so in the Atlantic, and then so 8, 16. Oh, I know this. It's like
Doing maths now, are we?
16, and then 16 plus that 8, and the Western Division. So okay. Here we go.
Remember, no internet for this.
It's like 31.
Is that your final answer?
It's either 31 or 32. 31.
It's 31!
Yes!
There you go! 1 point to the Thrasher.
Literally, as soon as you said it, I'm like, okay, I know it's like 31, or I know it's 32, but I'm like, wait, it might be 31 because in one of the divisions there's one last team, and oh, man.
And I believe that there's 7 in Canada, but I'm not entirely sure about that. I checked it briefly. Right, now your first question to me about Formula 1.
Who was the F1 world champion in 1973?
Sir Jackie Stewart.
How? How do you know?
I've actually memorised the entire champions list back to 1950.
What?
I did that in an assembly at school once. I wrote all of them down on the whiteboard.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Also, it helps that Jackie Stewart is probably the driver that I'd most like to meet out of all of them in history.
Nice. Okay. Go ahead.
Right. What was Randy Pierce of the Colorado Rockies unusually punished for in 1979? I must say, I had no idea who Randy Pierce at all was until I researched this. This was just off a Did You Know site.
What would he have done? He...
Do you know Randy Pierce? Not personally, but...
No, he's probably like an older one, right?
1979, he got
Yeah,
penalised in.
he's an older.
Oh bother, I just dropped something.
Um, I'm probably gonna say something like ridiculous that wouldn't happen.
This is quite a ridiculous thing to get penalised for, definitely.
He scored a goal from his. No, that wouldn't be it.
I'm interested to see where you were going with that.
He was arguing with the ref. No,
Too common, isn't it?
yeah, like I don't know what. He gave a fan a puck.
It's something to do with the puck. He actually delayed the game by kissing the puck.
They what?
Apparently, he scored a goal that he was really pleased with. He picked the puck up just as someone was going to return it to the line, and started to kiss it.
That's
and apparently, it delayed the game for a few minutes because he was too busy
my
kissing the puck.
goodness. Oh, wow. Okay. This one I'm probably not gonna do a good job explaining, but rigs used to refuel F1 cars.
Wait, what? Sorry?
Okay.
Oh, rigs used to refuel
Rigs
F1
used
cars,
to
yeah.
refuel F1 cars can fuel at a rate of 12 liters per second.
I thought it was 7 meters per second. Okay, carry on.
It's 12.
That should have been the question.
How long does it take to fill up? Like how long would it take up to fill an average car?
Well, refueling was actually banned from Formula One at the end of the 2009 season, but I'm lifting my mind back then to see if I can remember how long it would take. The average pit stop would have taken back then about 10 to 15 seconds, but I don't know if the rest of the things they had to do in the pit stop would have delayed that. No, because they can refuel they can change a tyre in no time at all. I'm going to say about 13 seconds.
The answer is only 4 seconds.
To
refuel a normal average car.
I'm not convinced, but I'll take your word for it. Because their pit stops back then did used to take about 10 to 15 seconds, so I don't know what all of the waiting would be for.
Yeah, oh wait.
Yeah, I'm not convinced, but I'll take your word for it.
Because I think I'm not... Do they mean like a normal car?
I don't know. Well, I'll just ignore that. Well, I'm ahead anyway.
Yeah, you're gonna win, whatever.
Still 2.5 to 1. Right. How many forwards scored a minimum of 10 goals in for the Toronto Maple Leafs in 1941 to 42? It was the first time in history this had happened. So how many forwards scored a minimum of 10 goals in 41 and 42 for the Toronto Maple Leafs?
There's only like 2 forwards, so... How many? Wait, say that again.
Well, maybe there's 2 forwards per game, but... Right, it says, how many forwards scored a minimum of 10 goals for the Toronto Maple Leafs? Yeah, 10 goals each.
Like each player
I think.
Scored... Wow.
I think so. That's how it was worded, I think. Scored a minimum of 10 goals for the Toronto Maple Leafs in 41 to 42.
Okay, I would say 5, but I want to say 4.
It's 9, apparently.
9?
Can you believe that? Yeah, I was a bit shocked when I saw that. I was like, do they have that many forwards? Was that just like loads of super substitutes? Or but that's what the site said. Of course, I must say I can't guarantee the legitimacy of the site. That's just what I was going for. But this is just, I mean, that's just what I found. But then again, this is just a fun little game, so I wasn't convinced about your refueling question, but oh well. Right.
You're probably gonna know this, but how old is Bernie Ecclestone?
He's in his 80s. When he retired, he was something like 83. So, and that was, or not retired, but got kicked out. And that was about last year. So I'm going to say he's 84.
He's 85.
Oh, so close!
That was so
Come
close.
on, Bernie. What? Oh dear. Do you know who Bernie Ecclestone is?
Yeah, he's like the
Well,
like
yeah, he until the end of last year, he basically ran Formula One for a very long time. Right. How much did the Detroit Red Wings buy Chris Draper for? It gave Chris Draper a nickname. If you know Chris Draper's nickname, you'll know this. I didn't before I researched it.
Oh man, you're giving me tons of like older ones.
Well, they say that the past is. I'm not entirely sure what quotation I'm quoting, but the past is difficult, especially to the people of the present.
He's like I'm really confused. Oh goodness. It's probably like really wait, what year was this?
I didn't search that.
Okay.
Sorry. I can now very quickly if you like.
No, it's fine.
I'm doing it anyway. But you carry on thinking while I'm doing this.
Okay.
You can answer before if you like.
Wait. Yeah, because he played in like 1980s.
Looks more recent than that actually.
It does, but he doesn't play anymore.
1993. 1993 was his exchange to the Detroit Red Wings from the. Oh, what was he from? From the Winnipeg Jets. Oh, and there goes the doorbell.
For a price?
Yes. How much was he sold for? It gave him his nickname.
I'm gonna guess like way too high. Yeah, I'm gonna guess way too high, like 3 million.
$1.
What?
He was sold to the.
What?
Yeah, he was sold to the Detroit Red Wings for $1 single.
No.
Yes, he was. And he apparently he was quite successful as well. Do you know him?
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Yeah. So, well, that was a bargain and a half, wasn't it?
What? Oh my goodness. Okay. How
Right,
many?
so I've technically already won this.
Yeah,
okay,
you're gonna
but-
probably know this.
Oh.
In 19 seasons, how many races did Michael Schumacher win?
90. It was 91 or 93. It wasn't 92. It was an even number. Not odd number. Sorry. Very early on in the 90s. I'm gonna say 91.
How are you so good?
Is that right? Yeah,
Yeah.
I take it that is. Right, so 3.5 points to me, 1 to you. Oh well, we both scored points. Actually, that's more than I was expecting. I was actually expecting us to, I was expecting us to score neither in terms of the, I wasn't expecting any of us to score points on the other person's sport, but on our own I was expecting both of us to score all of them.
Because like I said that much because like the normal NHL salary is like $12 million, so
Yep, well he was sold for $1.
oh my. Okay.
So
well,
anyway, thank you all for watching this video. If you want to buy an ice hockey player for $1, the link is in the description. No, it isn't. That's not official Deafening Octopus merchandise at all, although
And if
maybe
you-
it should be.
if you want to run the F1, you can go ahead and call the number in the description as well.
Bernie Ecclestone won't
and-
help you though.
Yep. You can call to replace him.
Hands higher might, but he's not actually supposed to be doing that. He's just doing it anyway. He's going to get disqualified soon.
Alright.
So is Michael. Anyway, thanks for watching this video, and I will see you later. Goodbye.
Yep. Goodbye.